Doug, Mona, Angela, Jimmy, and Jim are on WCMH Television, Columbus, Ohio. Newswatch 4 is next.
Good evening. Take good care of those houseplants. They're helping clean up the air in your home. If jet skis are so safe, how come you have to carry a fire extinguisher with you? And anytime, day or night, you can get free advice from a registered nurse. But first in the news, an Olympic diver in trouble, Doug.
Mona, he is America's #2 ranked diver, and he is charged with crashing his car into a crowd of teenagers outside Tampa, Florida last night. Bruce Kimball, charged with manslaughter and negligence. His car was reportedly going 70 to 90 miles an hour. 2 teenage boys were killed. 4 others are in critical condition. The prison siege has ended near Albany, New York. Prisoners surrendered today, giving up their hostages, 5 guards. One hostage was taken out on a stretcher, is in serious condition, and we're told that no inmate demands were met. Voting today on a controversial school levy in Westerville. There are more school issues being decided today than at any time since August special elections were authorized in Ohio back in 1984. 70 school funding issues in 67 districts, and we'll have results from around Central Ohio at 11 tonight. Who would want to destroy a gourmet cookie factory? Arson suspected in Hayward, California at the Musso Cookie Bakery. Estimated $1.5 million in damage from that fire. And a tragic scene in eastern China. 2 million people have been affected by devastating floods. 19 inches of rain in just one night. 700 people dead or missing, 20,000 homes destroyed, 300 bridges wiped out, and 3,000 villages cut off from help. Have you ever heard of 19 inches of rain in one night?
Well, I suppose the Johnstown floods in Pennsylvania would rival that. And we don't know much about China, but they do have a climate that's very similar to ours.
I tell you, the tragedies in that part of the world are always just so enormous.
Seems to be magnified.
Yeah.
Maybe not enough media warning.
Oh.
I hate to say that, I suppose. Outside, here's your forecast for the rest of the night tonight. It is going to be a steamy one. Wanted to warn you that if you're going up to Cleveland, there are some very strong storms there, up over 60,000 feet today. Severe weather, heavy rains, but for us, it'll be moonlit after midnight, 72. On Wednesday, 95 to 97. The only thing good you could say about this, Mona, is that it can't last more than, say, 35, 38 days at the longest, and it won't do that.
Oh, I hope not. That's a long time. It's hard to breathe outside.
But that's mid-September. We lose the humidity and the temperatures by then.
Boy, it is just stifling. Do you have plants around your house?
I don't know the names of any of them.
But
we do.
You've noticed that you have plants. Not that you take care of them.
Never have.
I suppose that's
Never
not
will.
your job. Well, your elephant ear philodendron and your snake plant, spider plant, they're doing more for you than decorating and providing something for you to water. The Horticulture Center at Ohio State says they're removing pollutants from the air in your home, namely formaldehyde gas that's given off from upholstery and carpeting, and carbon monoxide that's produced when coal, oil, or natural gas are burned, or cigarettes. Other houseplants that clean the air: heartleaf philodendron, Chinese evergreen, and golden, I think this is pothos, but I'm not positive, P-O-T-H-O-S, in case you have one of those. While the water levels keep dipping at Hoover and Alum Creek, another of Central Ohio's recreation centers isn't feeling the heat at all, so to speak. Deer Creek, we're looking at live pictures now, gets its water from a nearby reservoir. Its level is controlled by our federal government, the Army Corps of Engineers. Deer Creek doesn't supply anyone's water either. It is strictly used for flood control and recreation. And Cabot is back out at Deer Creek this evening. You're at a different location than last evening. You were at the lodge, and now you're at the marina, I believe.
I am at the marina. Over this way, Tim.
You know what? I can't hear you very well, Cabot. Do you need to turn on a microphone or something?
You don't
Now.
have me at all. You got me now?
Getting you better.
Okay. Well, I'm out here, and I'm sort of like a duck out of water, but I'm in the water.
Oh,
I'm
you're
in
a
a bumper boat out
bumper
here.
boat.
Do you see me?
Yeah, we see you.
Hello. We're at the marina tonight, Mona, and it's really, this is quite a place, particularly for those who have a little wild streak in them and they want to, thank you. He just started my bumper boat. We're going to give you a little demonstration on that. But this place has done quite a good business, and it's also helped a business about 7 miles down the road. There is a riding stable located there, right in the edge of Fayette County, and it's hard to tell what the bigger attraction is there, the horses or the man who owns the horses.
Can you leave? need.
He's been a horseman and farmer here all his life and finds contentment with sharing his love of horses and the trail with others, like his granddaughter Amy, who despite being confined by muscular dystrophy, has shown her own horse at local fairs for years.
He showed me Julie, and I, fell in love with her like I do all the other horses, and I liked her, and he told me I could have her.
She is a wonderful little gal. She's got more spirit and more spunk than most people that had no afflictions.
Why do you think your business is so much better? Over 5,000 riders took the 5-mile trek with Freddie last year. Freddie says the peaceful surroundings and tranquil pace allow all barriers to come down.
You seem like you make a lifelong friend in an hour. And in lots of cases, you never see the folks again, but in a lot of cases we do. They keep coming back, and you get to know them even better. I've made some wonderful friendships doing this. It's been worth it.
This horseman is sincere and caring and occasionally sly.
I'm riding, and this one lady, she says, "What are those over there?" And I thought, well, that's a pretty good time. I said, "They're buffalo." She said, "I thought they were buffalo," and I suppose to this day she thinks she saw a herd of buffalo. It's going by.
This past winter was a rough one for Freddie, who had a heart attack in January and lost his home to fire in March. Riding has become therapeutic. The trail remains the same. It is a constant in his life, and that's where you'll find Freddie 7 days a week.
Could sum it up just like some riders I had a few years ago, and they said, "Do you travel a lot?" And I said, and then he says, "Well, on second thought, why would you want to travel?" He says, "You got it all right here."
Mona, it's $8 an hour to ride, which is a very reasonable rate, as you can imagine. They ride by appointment only during the week, and on the weekend they ride from noon to dusk.
You know, if Freddie told me they were buffalo, I'd probably believe him, too.
He's such a sincere man that you're willing to believe anything he has to say. Do I look like I'm in good control out here?
No.
These things are tough. These are bumper boats. This is Paul, and this is the object right here. Kind of like sumo wrestling out on the water, Mona.
And they have those at the state fair for the first time this year, so you're going to practice up.
That's right. I better practice up after the log rolling incidents of last year. Maybe I can do a little better in these.
That looks like a lot of fun.
It is. I'm going to get you, buddy.
Don't turn over before we come back. The water scooters, the wave runners, jet skis, how hard are they to ride and how safe? Leanne Carlson is going to show us next.
Something new is in the air at Pizza Hut. Introducing hand-tossed traditional pizza that's reaching new heights with an out-of-this-world offer. Get a large Supreme with 6 delicious toppings, only $9.99. No wonder people are taking off for the best hand-tossed pizza to ever get off the ground. So go ahead and land a large Supreme hand-tossed pizza, only $9.99. Take off for yours today.
Golden Bear in-store warehouse sale. Thousands of incredible buys have been shipped from our giant electronics from the world's leading manufacturers, all at lowest prices guaranteed. It's happening now in all stores. Golden Bear warehouse sale.
Your look is yours, my look is mine. The look is us, and that's just fine. Kids for us, it's play. Kids for us, it's more. Kids for us, it's play. Kids buy more.
A Kids Wear store like never before with more of everything except high prices.
Your look is yours, my look is mine. The look is us, and that's just fine. Kids for us.
Have you tried to doctor yourself because you didn't want to go to the emergency room and wait for hours to find out how you just need to take 2 aspirin and keep off your feet? Health reporter Kathy Starling says a new telephone service gives you that same answer a whole lot faster.
Yeah, it sure does. Well, it started out in a hospital in the Pacific Northwest. They noticed dozens of calls for general health information were made to their ER every week. So they set up a special center to handle those calls. Today, it began at university hospitals.
If this reoccurs again and you do develop those same symptoms, dizziness and palpitations, the pain down your arm, diaphoresis, sweating. At that time, I want you to call 911 and have the squad come and pick you up. Yes, they'll come and they'll evaluate you at the scene, and if they feel that there's a need at that time for you to go to the emergency room, they'll transport you to the nearest emergency room.
What the caller has just received is advice, free of charge, no obligations or strings attached, from a medical professional, Robin Morrison. She's one of 8 registered nurses available to give reliable health information over the phone.
Ask a nurse, this is Robin. May I help you?
They answer 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it's better than the emergency department.
Ask a nurse, they develop these protocols, the physician-approved protocols that help standardize all the information, make sure that each and every person is asking the right questions so that legal risk is minimized. The nurse is trained to make somewhat of an assessment. In other words, if I ask you if you're short of breath and you say no, I may be able to pick up some nuances of your breathing over the phone that just an ordinary person couldn't get.
Has your father had any heart attack? No. Do you smoke? Mm-hmm. Well, because of your family history and your smoking history, it would probably be a good idea to have it checked out. It could be a variety of things.
The nurses do not make a diagnosis, but they can determine whether you need immediate care or wait till the morning. It's a different kind of nursing, a different pace, but it can actually attract nurses.
It has increased nursing morale. If you are working 3 days a week on the floor and you've rushed from bed to bed and never felt like you totally met anybody's need, you can now come and work for Ask a Nurse as an alternative the next 2 days.
It's exciting, it's interesting, and you feel like you are actually serving a large number of people as they each call in and you greet each caller, help them solve their problem, and it gives you an instant feeling of gratification.
All the information is confidential, and you don't have to give your name if you don't want to. The number to call is 293-5678. For any question from poison ivy to Lyme disease and Mona, even without the publicity, they say they've got about 70 calls a day. And yes, they do have a male nurse.
Are they looking for more nurses?
Well, they said that really they're taking some of the nurses who are working on their regular shifts and going to give them an option to go over there for 2 days to kind of change their pace, which is nice for nurses.
Do they need some kind of special experience to do it? I mean, or you just learn the job?
Everyone that has been interviewed has to have at least 5 years on-hand experience with medicine. So you don't come out of nursing school and go right on to the phone calls. You have to have that hands-on experience.
What's the number again?
293-5678.
Taking that home with me.
Okay.
Ever done any jet skiing?
No.
Me either. Well, Leanne is at Deer Creek Lake ready to test out something called a wave runner. Are you actually going? You are actually going to do this, Leanne?
I'm out here doing it, Mona. First time out, and it's lots of fun. The wave runner is very easy to maneuver, and they are as safe as the driver is careful. You have to remember that this is not a toy. It's a high-performance boat. They are as fearless as the people who drive them. Jet skis and wave runners race across the water and take on the wake at speeds of up to 40 miles per hour. Jet skiing has really caught on in Columbus. Sandy Acker says her sales are up 30% over last year.
The popularity of them is growing. It's a new sport. It's a good way to get into a boat without the price.
Much less than a boat. Jet skis start at about $2,500. Wave runners about $3,900. Insurance will cost you anywhere from $200 to $400. Water cycles come in all shapes and sizes. Jet skis are smaller and made to stand up on. Wave runners are larger, easier to maneuver, and made for sitting. As their popularity grows, so do safety concerns. But Ohio watercraft officials insist they are as safe as any other powerboat.
Our experience with them over the period of time, we've only had one fatality, and that was a result of a collision with another powercraft. Recent history says that there's really not that much problem with them in Ohio.
Gregory says the same state regulations that apply to powerboats apply to jet skis and wave runners. You must carry a personal flotation device and fire extinguisher at all times. Most water cycles have built-in safety features like this safety cord. It slips around your wrist, and if you fall off, the cord shuts off the motor immediately. So far, Mona, I haven't had to use my safety cord. I haven't fallen off yet, thank goodness. You can rent these wave runners for $19 for half an hour, $36 for a full hour, and $148 for a full day out here.
A full day, that would be fun.
It's so much fun. You should come out and try it.
I want to. It looks easier than water skiing. Can you rent jet skis now there?
They don't have jet skis here, no. For some reason, I think it's insurance. The insurance is a little bit higher for jet skis, and since these are safer, the wave runners are a better bet.
Can we see you take off again?
Sure. Here goes. Remember, first time, Mona.
She learns fast. Doesn't make you want to try it, does it? Sometimes we mess up, other times we come through with flying colors, and we appreciate your reaction on both counts. 5:30 Live's mailbag is next.
I'm Ernest Williger. My company. Before it's too late, here are the details of how you can subscribe to Showtime and take advantage of this special half-price offer.
Call 1-800-328-1900 and subscribe now. You'll get Showtime at half price for 3 months, plus installation for only $5.
A letter from a Northwest Side woman who helped us with a story about the late John Galbraith and how he encouraged women to stop smoking by sending them a dozen red roses. It was the first time I had ever been on television. I was very nervous. Allison Ash and cameraman Buzz were so supportive. They put me right at ease. Signed, Kyle Gerlach.
Television news can be very intimidating at times, and as news photographers, we're aware of that. But as a news staff, we're committed to being more of a friend than an intruder, especially when it comes to your privacy. And Mrs. Gerlach, the main thing we were trying to capture on tape was your enthusiasm about life. Thank you.
If you have a question about any of our newscasts here on Channel 4 or a comment, negative or positive, you'd like to share, you can write to 530 Live Mailbag, Box 4, Columbus 43216. And Kyle's last name is spelled G-E-R-L-A-C-H. I think we misspelled it there. Sometimes it's hard to be yourself when you know you're on TV because you can't help but think about what you look like, what you sound like to an audience. But now Cabot has to think about so many other things, like not tripping and falling into the water. You probably don't have to worry about what you look or sound like. You're too busy thinking about all the other things, like what to say.
Yes, exactly. I'm about 2 feet away from 15 feet? Yeah. 15 feet of water here. It goes up to about 45. If you look out there, Mona, we were just talking about jet skis. These are not owned, though, by anybody here. These are individually owned because of, again, the insurance problems. But we are out and about. We have actually left the marina area, and we're still getting a picture back nicely, huh?
Yes, a beautiful picture.
Great. For those of you more sedate people who don't care to ride the waves with wild abandon, may I offer to you the pontoon idea here at the lake. It is this is John Joseph. You can tell me a little bit more about it because you've been here, what, 6 years now?
Yeah, roughly 6 years.
Okay, now the pontoon is real popular with what age group, what type of group?
Actually, they're popular with a lot of age groups. A lot of younger people like to go out on them for, they'll take a ski boat and a pontoon boat out. You can take a larger amount of groups out and have a good time. So I enjoy going out on them, laying out in the sun, and then going skiing for a couple hours, go back to the pontoon, lay back out.
Okay, and what do these things run a day?
Well, we got a lot of different sizes. We run from 20 feet to 32 foot. So a small one runs about $89 a day up to $156 a day.
Great. Can you ski out the back of these things?
You can, this one.
Oh, great. This is the big one, though. Yeah. Okay. With me are a couple of people that came down for the day. This is John and Jeanette West, right?
Right, that's right.
Well, welcome to the show. And Jeanette, we understand that this is a special day. That's what brought you down here.
That's right. That's right. And it's my first time on a pontoon boat, which I've always wanted to be on.
What is today?
Today's my birthday.
Today's your birthday. And which one is this? Will you tell us?
Well, now,
No, you don't. No, you don't.
She's old.
You nosy thing, you.
I'm sorry, what, Mona?
You nosy thing, you.
I know. I always like to get the dirt whenever I can. They're sweet people to come along with us today. They have been out on the lake how many hours?
About 4 hours.
4 hours.
4 or 5 hours.
Is that enough?
Plenty.
We had lunch out on the boat.
You had lunch on the boat.
This was what she wanted to do for her birthday, so we're going to look at it.
Okay, well, listen, we're going to wind this up and we're going to sing a little to you tonight, okay?
Okay.
And when we come back, Mona, we're going to look at the newest craze here out on the lake. It's called a surf jet. Is that right? And that's coming up next. Okay, everybody, ready? Happy birthday to you. Come on, Jeanette. Happy birthday to you. Join in, Mona.
Happy birthday, dear Jeanette. Happy birthday to you. They left me. Pierced earrings can be tough on ears. The holes and lobes can stretch. Hairbrushes and kids can snag earrings. When we come back, some words of caution and suggestions for repair.
Did you ever notice how much of this junk mail they're sending out these days? Like, these contests are getting more and more outlandish every day. Paige O'Dirk, $1 million. On the back it says, you may be the winner of $2 million.
It's summertime. Natural gas is a real winner.
This is a very fortunate little girl. She's never known an America plagued by inflation. In her lifetime, almost 16 million more Americans have found jobs. During her 7 years on this earth, this little girl has known virtually nothing but peace and economic growth. Why then would we ever want to go back to the way things were before she was born and risk anything as precious as her future? Jobs, peace, and economic growth. Brought to you by the Republicans.
You can prevent stretching the holes for your pierced earrings by taking them off before bed, that is the earrings. Even the small studs can be pulled on by pillows. Keep pressure off by not scrunching the phone between your shoulder and ear like this. Don't do that. Wear heavy styles once or twice a week at most. And to cut risk of rips, don't brush or comb your hair blind. Watch in a mirror, and around kids, wear the clip-ons. Because I wore the heavy pierced earrings today, yesterday I'm wearing the clip-ons today. If your earring holes or lobes are already stretched, they may shrink back if you don't wear any earrings until the skin shrinks, and then switch to small, lightweight ones. If the holes are too far gone or torn, in-office plastic surgery, like 2 stitches or so, can fix that, and it'll leave only a tiny scar. The stitches come out in a week. The earrings are back on 6 to 8 weeks later. It'll cost $150 to $500 an ear, and that is covered by insurance. We left Cabot celebrating Jeanette's birthday on the pontoon, and it's a boat that I would assume, Cabot, is a safer one than most because it doesn't look as if it would turn over very easily.
It would take quite a bit to turn this over, isn't that right, John?
Yeah, quite a bit. They're hard to turn over.
What is probably the safest, other than the pontoon, out here to rent and to ride on?
With a motor or without?
Yeah, with the motor.
With a motor, probably a pontoon. Ski boats are okay. There's really nothing real dangerous out here. I mean,
okay.
It's how you handle it. If you come out here and you're going to get crazy on something, then you're asking for trouble.
Okay, and I was wrong also, Mona, about the jet ski. They don't offer them here at the marina, but I guess there are places around the lake here that you can indeed rent them from. We have an interesting little toy down here. Now, this is called a
surf jet.
A surf jet, and that's Steve?
Yeah, that's Steve.
Okay. Steve's going to give us a demonstration. This is a rather new kind of development, isn't it?
Well, they've been out quite a while, actually.
Okay, once again, you make me look ignorant. Thank you very much, John.
No, I'm sorry. I just didn't want to, but no,
We're
they've
here to
been around
learn,
for a
aren't
little
we?
while, but we've been scared to put them in rental because they're not the easiest thing. It's going to take somebody that's good on the water and got good balance. So it's not something, if you've never been on the water and skiing and stuff like that, then you don't want to jump on.
It's just like a surfboard without the waves.
Right, that's exactly it.
It's the same principle. You need the same kind of ability and balance.
Right, you got to have very good balance.
It is not something recommended for children. You got an age limit on this?
Well, once again, the law states 12 years old to operate, but we usually make it 16, and we won't let them out of the bay unless we watch them start it and all that.
And the price, once again?
The price on that is $14 for a half hour, $24 for an hour.
Well, there you go, Mona. We've looked at basically all of the available motorized pieces of equipment that you can use down here.
Well, what a fun place to spend a few days. Huh?
Yeah, that does. That looks great, doesn't it?
We'll be back to you in just a minute, Cabot. Stay with us.
You've waited all year, and now they're here. The prices that make right now the time to buy. The once-a-year prices you've been waiting for. Clearance prices on every new Ford truck in stock, plus up to a $750 cash bonus. Get $750 cash on Ford Ranger. Add your option package discount and save over $2,000. Or get $500 cash on F-150. With your option package discount, you'll save over $2,600. You've waited all year. Your Ford dealer's annual clearance is finally here.
I'm a big star. First one you've seen tonight, right? Sure. Light years up here. But hey, you can talk to me. I mean, I'm your lucky star. Stick with me and you could win big in the new Instant Lottery Lucky Stars. Yeah, you and about 10 million other lucky stiffs. That's right. 10 million winning tickets are out there. So, hey, you want to wish upon a star, pal? Hey, go right ahead. Me, hey, I'd go for the cash. Yeah. So bright. Woo! Yeah.
Fall, probably.
Cabot spent the evening at Deer Creek State Park Lake, and I noticed Leanne has joined us again.
She just torpedoed us from the rear end. I don't think that was very courteous of her. But
well,
actually,
she's learning.
She came in because I want to ride it next, Leanne.
Well, why don't we do doubles?
Oh, is that safe?
Yeah, it's safe.
Okay, we're going to try
They're
this.
made for two.
Live on television here. I'm going to ride into the sunset with Miss Deer Creek State Park, 1988.
And tomorrow, Cabot will be at Slate Run Historical Farm.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, no!
Oh, wow. Oh, gee.
And he's holding up the
Women drivers, what can I say?
Oh, Cabot. Cabot, watch our equipment, will you?
Too late for
Isn't that beautiful? Well, you know, I'm just going to say, Cabot needs to watch out because he could always be replaced by Buzz Busby.
That's right.
Who's got the name for it.
What a personality.
And Buzz did such a good job answering that letter. Goodbye, Cab. We got to say goodbye to you. Coming up next at 6 on Newswatch 4 Columbus, you still have time to cast your ballot. There is school voting all over Ohio. How wide should it be, that bridge over O'Shaughnessy Dam? And the letter says that you've won a major prize.